National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Bucs and the Rams, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Los Angeles Rams. Brandon Gaudin alongside the one and only Charles Davis. And CD, lots of compelling storylines in a game like this. Let's take a look at some of the numbers for these two offenses.
And I'm glad you brought up the numbers because sometimes it's hard to quantify a team's performance solely by judging the numbers. But I think with these two teams, what you see is a pretty accurate representation of who they are.
Let's go.
We go from SoFi Stadium. Taking it about the 1. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and it told me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Throwing to start the drive, King. And his first pass is incomplete.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Back to throw. King. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Rams will go on offense here for the 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be let out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And they'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved, able to do it successfully. Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guy's. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. He's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better. It'll be Warner on first down. Setting up the screen to Dickerson. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath. Maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak. I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but now from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. And the defense, they'll spread the field, a dime package here on 3rd and 12. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Going up top. And unable to connect. Incomplete. They'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts. They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. King, complete. It's Johnson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route. With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception? Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well. But a moot point there as they were able to connect. That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Looking to throw. King. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. That's on the guard, Alex Kappa.
Still third down.
And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10. Back to throw. King. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Warner. It's complete. He finds Falk here. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here, just a little slow. And, you know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether it's seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. King. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route, and they just executed that one pretty well.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Taken down at the 41. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. King. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. King. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, King. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Succop on now for the Buccaneer field goal. From the right hash and calling it even 50 yards. And Succop will put this one right through, and the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon, and think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Warner from the gun. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
He found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Dickerson on the handoff. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Warner to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Here's Johnny Hecker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. King on 1st and 10. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw. King. He'll let this go for the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, the first 2 drives only yielded 3 points. They might be thinking it's time to make something happen. Push the ball downfield and try and gain some points that way. Unfortunately, incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. King. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Back to throw. King. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And the Rams now coming out on the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Here we go. Mike, 55.
A play fake. Now Warner. Open man, Higbee, the tight end. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
3 yards remain for 2nd down.
Now Warner. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Johnny Hacker now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now King on 1st down. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
To throw is King. Looking to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
A 3rd field goal of the 1st half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash, this from 48. Succop's kick is good. And that will make our score 9-0. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Well, the Rams going to take over late in this 1st half. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. Now a 1st down throw, Warner. Open man here is Prohl. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. The Rams going to go ahead and use the 1st of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the 1st half. 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. He's going to air one out, and he
overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Warner. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Warner. And he's got him. Got his man on the end round. Complete. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. One more drive here for the Buccaneer offense in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. King. And that is incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. For one more time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
A gain of 11 on the play. And the Buccaneer first down.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, let's take a look at the next-gen stats from the first half for the Bucs. And even though they've got a halftime lead, they're likely devising ways as we speak to try and get a little more production from their passing game. Meanwhile, for the Rams, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. Fielded just outside the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Rams offense ready to begin quarter number 3. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Play action. It's Warner. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think he might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield, and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Warner getting this into the hands of Eric Dickerson. And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. 0 turnovers in this game so far. The trend continues, but barely. Offense lucky that one went out of bounds.
Yeah, they're very fortunate, because when a game's going along like this one and neither side has turned the ball over, sometimes that first one can really flip things to their advantage in this type of a game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
54 is Mike.
To throw, Warner. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Off play action, Warner. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Under a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked off at the 45. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the 2nd half.
And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here the 2nd half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them, because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Here's King to throw on third down. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it breaks up fourth down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Off the draw, it's Dickerson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Here we go. Here we go.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now a give left side to Falk. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half. And that trend is continuing here.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Operating from the gun, Warner. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. That's taken on the 25.
We play to win. Let's go.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't come before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. King. Johnson's got it complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Now a handoff as they run left side. Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the broken tackle. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game. or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
It's caught by Mike Evans. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
First down, Tampa Bay.
King now, throwing on first down. And he finds Howard complete. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4, second down.
That was a nice throw out there into the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
King to throw on second down. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Jackson. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Back to throw again. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second. Well, this offense has already been forced to settle for field goals on their drives earlier, so this is not a welcome sign here.
Indeed, it is not, and they certainly hope it's not a sign for the entire game because they know they've got to be able to sustain drives all the way through. Pick up those guys rushing the quarterback and give himself a chance.
Well, the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Oh, now Olsen slow to get up here. Still on the ground. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. From the gun, King. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
Looking to throw. King. And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Bucs are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point up and good by Succop. And the lead is up to 18 now.
Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively.